The financial and housing crisis of 2008 was a big event in history, and it's ridiculously complicated to explain. Adam McKay's The Big Short from 2015 did a great job trying to break it down, including having Margot Robbie in a bathtub explain specifics of loans. But before that film came about, there were a few that tried to tackle this subject. 2012's Killing Them Softly was one such film that attempted to better decipher the bureaucracy through the genre of gangster movies. A film about corrupt banks and failing stocks may not seem that interesting and appear overly dense for most audiences, but gangster movies are fairly common and most movie audiences can digest them well. As a gangster film on a surface level, Killing Them Softly is standard. There are a few tense moments, and a handful of beautifully staged kills that switch it up between slow motion and quick violence, but it's a story that is familiar and simple, at least in terms of its flow of events. Here's a quick rundown of the story. Johnny Squirrel Amato has plans to rob a secret mafia poker game run by the gangster Marky. To make this happen, he enlists the low-red criminals of Frankie and Russell. Despite both being rather inept in business and wasted on drugs, they succeed in ripping off the mafia game at gunpoint. Russell goes off to sell dogs for money and lets slip his previous heist, which alerts the mafia to their involvement. To catch and kill Frankie and Russell, the elusive driver hires the hitman Jackie Cogan. Jackie initially kills Marky, and then tries to enlist the help of veteran hitman Mickey Fallon for the rest of his job. Mickey, however, is useless, and Jackie decides to carry out the murders on his own. Russell is arrested and deported, so that's one person off Jackie's to-do list. When Jackie approaches Frankie, he convinces the cowering gangster to lead him to Squirrel in exchange for his own life. Frankie does so, and Squirrel is killed by Jackie's shotgun. Jackie drives Frankie to a parking ramp and then kills him by pistol. His job completed, Jackie returns to driver and is paid for his executions. Killing Them Softly takes place during the 2008 financial crisis and presidential election. You won't have to know this going into the picture, as the time frame is hammered in from the very first shot. The first thing we hear is a speech by Barack Obama, and the first thing we see are billboards for the 2008 presidential election. Every television and radio in every scene is turned to the news about either the financial crisis or the election. More subtle, but still blunt, is how the gangster story relates to the American financial crisis and even the American dream itself. You don't have to squint too hard to see this, especially with the connection to the current events being so blatant. There are no noble characters present in this film fighting for some grander goal past money. When Frankie and Russell rob the mafia poker game, there's a moment where Marky offers one of them the chance to walk away without a hit, so long as the other guy is left behind. The offer is turned down, and the two complete the robbery, not because of devotion, but greed. The trio who pull off the robbery are punished, not by some devoted cop or hero trying to do the right thing, but by Jackie, someone who is more intelligent and greedy, who kills them. Mickey is seen as some veteran hitman, but he's a relic numbed by his greed and the violence. He complains about drinks, doesn't listen to much of anyone, is addicted to prostitutes, and just rambles on drunkenly. When he thinks he may be heading back to prison after violating parole, he's not worried. He's already been to prison and figures he can do it again, no problem. The punishment of imprisonment means nothing to him, considering it has already been dealt to him once before. If the punishment doesn't seem severe, what incentive is there not to break the law? Jackie Cogan does not kill for the thrill of it all or because of some honor code. He wants money, and decides to kill for it as easily as possible by shooting from a distance without warning. This way, he believes he avoids having any feelings for those he murders. When killing from a distance, he doesn't have to feel or think about anything with his victims. It's just business as usual. And it also adds to his ideals of machismo in denying feelings while carrying out violent actions. He's aware of the system in which he operates, being very direct with his orders and not hiding behind mafia code words. When he's told to take care of people, he corrects them by stating that he's going to kill them. He's also aware of the capitalist system he works within, seen in a seemingly nothing moment where he forbids another gangster from stealing the tip off a diner table. Jackie makes his intentions deeply clear by the end of the film, where news of the 2008 election is directly addressed. After Obama states in his victory speech the lines, "To reclaim the American dream and reaffirm that fundamental truth that out of many we are one," Driver comments that the speech should be directed towards Jackie. Jackie scoffs at this statement as being a myth and snarls the final lines of the movie. "I'm living in America, and in America, you're on your own. America's not a country. It's just a business. Now fucking pay me. Like I said, not subtle at all. But perhaps that's the point. The film is adapted from the 1974 George Higgins novel Cogan's Trade, but was retooled for a different era, as writer-director Andrew Dominic stated, "As I started adapting it, it was the story of an economic crisis. And it was an economic crisis in an economy that was funded by gambling. And the crisis occurred due to a failure in regulation. It just seemed to have something that you couldn't ignore. Killing them softly is not subtle, and that's a big problem with the film. But at least a film that could have been just another crime picture has a certain edge that breathes a relatable allegory into its tired tale of guns and money. And that's at least a bit admirable, even if it goes about making a point with the subtlety of a wrecking ball." Thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to see a particular video essay in the future, consider donating to my Patreon, where I will be taking requests through there. Again, thank you for watching.